Hello everybody, this is Bird's Eye Tarot. Thank you so much for watching. It's an honor and a privilege to do your reading today. We're talking about your new adventures, how you are going to, how your life is going to change, and how it's going to bring some excitement and some new abundance into your life, some new energy. What are those new energies coming into your life, and how are they going to actually play out, and any other stuff that the universe wants to tell us today. So we have 3 piles as usual. Before you pick, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon and click all so that you can get all of the notifications. It really helps the channel grow, and I would really appreciate it. Plus, it's a really great way to have an energy exchange, which will help properly get the reading to resonate for you the most. Also, liking the video would be helpful as well, and same message there, as well as putting a comment down below and telling me how it resonates for you. So we have 3 piles, group 1, group 2, and group 3. For group 1 we have this raw rose quartz, and the card from the Green Witch Tarot, or the Green Witch Oracle, number 12, it is affection, sorrow. We have for group 2, courage, time, card number 13, and blue kyanite. For group 3, we have card number 26 with continuance, apple. And the crystal is labradorite. Alright. So you can pause the video here, or whatever you want to do to use your intuition and pick the correct pile for you. You could always watch all 3 piles if that's what you want to do. There's bound to be some messages in each one for everybody, but each one will resonate the most with each viewer. A single one will resonate the most with each viewer. That's what the intention is. So go ahead and pick, and I will see you in your pile. Oh, by the way, the links are in the description and in the chapters of the video if you want to get straight to your pile. Alright, if you chose group 1 with card 12, affection, sorrow, and the pink rose quartz, then this is your reading. So first of all, I think affection is really important. It probably is affection to yourself. How are you showing yourself affection? And because the way we show ourselves affection is the way that we ultimately show affection to others, and vice versa. So looking at how we show affection in the next coming months is going to be really important, especially if you are a Taurus, not necessarily. But you also might be dealing with the Taurus. The number 3 might be very important for you, and you might be really going into action soon with this fire. Okay, so let's get to your cards. I'm just going to pick a deck at random. Okay. It is very hot here, so I hope you didn't see my shirtless body, but if you did, then congratulations, I guess. Alright. So, Spirit, please tell us what new adventures are on the way for group 1, what new energies are coming in for them, and what they need to know about the future for their highest, greatest good. So we have the King of Wands reversed, we have the Moon, we have the Ten of Cups reversed, and we have the World reversed. So with this King of Wands, so these cards I don't usually reverse, but we'll just leave them like that just in case it triggers something. But with this King of Wands, I think that you are starting to actually come into yourself and really like start to understand yourself a lot more thoroughly. You're really coming into your power, and you're starting to understand what it is what it means to be confident, because I think you've had an idea for a long time about what confidence is, but that's just what confidence looks like in other people, right? And of course there are some similarities between, and that's how we identify confidence, but there's also particular ways that certain people show confidence that are unique to them. And so that's kind of what's coming in. The new energy that's coming in is really learning to be confident, especially in situations with the moon card here, where there could be a little bit of fear, or there could be a feeling that things might not work out. You are just not sure how things are going to go, because it's very murky. It's almost like you're walking through jelly. It's you simply don't feel as powerful as you truly are, and you're coming into this realization that you are powerful, and that it doesn't matter how murky things look, right? That your power is innate. Okay, your power is always there, and you have not only the power of your logic and your reason as a human being, but also you have these animal instincts that you probably have believed for a long time were not helpful for you, but in fact they are extremely important, and you're going to be learning to embrace those more lower aspects of self, because they're going to be useful for you. Whether it is your caution, or whether it is even a certain amount of aggression, there's going to be some kind of realization that this thing that you thought was a flaw, that kind of comes from these animal instincts, actually is a blessing in disguise, because it's something that you've had to learn to embrace rather than work against, in order to bring out the power from it. Okay, so another thing that's coming into your life, I think, is a new idea of what family is. So this is all, I feel like, for you in group one, as we know right now. Everything is kind of revolving around how these like how to work with these new energies. It's almost like you probably already are aware of a lot of the new energies coming in, and if you're not, you will soon. But that's not actually even going to be the question or the problem for you. The real issue for you will be how to work with these new energies. So there's going to be a different dynamic in your family. There might be a divorce in your family, or there might be a new couple in your family, one or the other. There might even be somebody that you are seeing that you could see yourself as family with. But it's going to go against the regular idea of what family means. So a lot of people take this concept of family is everything, ride or die, or whatever. But you might be needing to set certain boundaries with family members, for example, or you might be trying to get closer to a family, and to changing the dynamic of your family in a way that it just has never been. It just has never been a certain way, and now you're testing the waters with this, or other people are testing the waters. And if other people are trying to test the waters with changing the family dynamic, I would say give it thought. Don't just deny it straight out, because there might be a really good reason for them to want this change, and you might actually benefit from this change a lot, especially with this World card here. So there's definitely a finalization coming, realization in a way, like the realizing of a project or something. But again, it's not going to come out exactly as you thought. So this might be a creative project, or this might be a project that you are doing for work. But whatever it is, or this might be a plan for your family or for your self-growth, But whatever it is, you're asked to prepare for the fact that it is not going to look like what you imagine it to look like. However, it is going to work out for the best. It is actually going to finalize and complete in a really, really wonderful, clean sort of way. Like just a clean finish. And it's not going to leave you like baffled or bewildered, because this is not the Tower card, right? This is the World card, and this is a really positive sort of card. You might be a Capricorn, you might be an Earth sign. You know, I feel like there is definitely a lot of Taurus energy here. You might be a Leo. Don't have to be. I feel like travel is in the cards for a lot of you. I see with these clouds here, I really see like a plane ride, and then I almost see a heart there. It's almost like there's going to be a plane ride to go see somebody you love or with somebody you love, and it's going to be one of the most amazing experiences in your life if this is something that's coming up for you. I would also say actually using your creativity in abstract ways, like, you know, like an ink blot test almost, looking at different concepts and trying to extract the meaning from them, just like I do with the cards. You could do it with cards, you could do it with art, you could do it with anything, but trying to find a deeper meaning within things, because this will actually strengthen this confidence that you have somehow. That's interesting. I'm not sure how that message will work for you, but it's like almost like seeing through this murkiness, like where once you were blind, now you can see, despite the environmental conditions, whether that be an internal environment or external. It's like somehow now you are being unblinded. You're being given the gift of vision, and this gift of vision is going to help you realize certain projects that before were just so out of your reach or felt so out of your reach. And they're going to actually, and I think family is going to come in for a lot of you, that there's going to be some help from your family. There's going to be a combining of both emotional and like water and fire energies, which are usually very, they don't work together, obviously. But here we have the water and the fire working very well together. A lot of you need to work on your sacral chakra. That will be very important for you. So doing some sacral chakra yoga, or just doing meditation, or getting Reiki, or whatever you would like to do, would be very beneficial for you. Also the solar plexus chakra with that yellow there. Okay, so what else does Group 1 need to know, please, Spirit, about the new energies coming into your life, and just what's next in their adventure? Sorry if you hear some construction noise. It is too hot to keep the window closed here. Otherwise the air just gets really moon energy mucky and like gross. So we have the Page of Swords, Valet d'Épée. We have the Six of Wands. Interesting. We have, I'm going to leave this upright. We have the Wheel of Fortune. We have the Seven of Swords. Okay. So first of all, the first thing I got was a line coming from there to there and back. So I think that this could have to do, for some of you, with somebody in your family specifically, maybe a child, maybe somebody younger than you, maybe somebody who is like a budding entrepreneur or a budding writer even. And I think that you're going to see a lot of success coming for somebody who you've been really rooting for a long time, and that's awesome. I love that. But also, I think with their success, again, you're seeing this new like you're having these new visions of what you can do, and you're really thinking outside of the box. Okay, and you see these people around you, and some of them are, some of them are helpful for you, some of them are really rooting for you, and others are not. And you're seeing who is helpful and who is not. Because actually in this card, oh yeah, we do have people, but they're hard to see. But those people back there, you can't tell if what their facial expressions are saying to us. In fact, some of them don't look so happy. But actually this card does talk about success and does talk about admiration. Okay, so, and actually I think that you're going to receive a message from somebody that you truly admire. That's interesting. That is very interesting. So for some of you, you might have done some work for somebody, or you might have just sent a message. You have just sent a message to somebody that you didn't expect to get a message back from, and they're actually going to respond to you positively. Okay. So, yeah, and what else here? Got a little distracted from my neighbors suddenly screaming. But, so, with the Wheel of Fortune, we have something, the wheel is turning, so we have something completely, out of your control happening in a way. So again, it's like you might have contributed to this energy moving, but actually the wheel is going to turn regardless. So I think this is going to be a random event that happens for you. Again, it might be that this person is reaching out to you, or it might be that you're reaching out to somebody else and they're giving you a positive response, or both. But I do, with the Seven of Swords here, Seven of Swords is often about things that are like lies, but it's also about getting away from something, getting away with something. So maybe there's been something that you felt guilty about, that you felt like you were not worthy for, and actually you are starting to get away from this idea that you're not worthy of it, or that you deserve some difficulty, that you deserve some bad luck or something like that. Because with the Seven of Swords, I really get that feeling of getting away with something. So whatever you're feeling guilty about, whatever you've been beating yourself up about, that is going to start, you're going to start feeling some relief from that, because you're going to start seeing yourself in a new way and seeing how you aren't deserving of this self-punishment. Okay? And I think that if somebody does reach out to you, that is going to actually help, right? It's going to make you see your true worth in life, and it's going to be really amazing for you, actually. I do see like a party for some of you, just like a party of some of your friends, and you're gonna find out maybe that somebody wasn't honest with you, but you are asked to just remember that nobody's perfect, and you don't need to forgive them at all if you don't want to, but you definitely don't need to do it right away. So if there is some kind of deception that you find out about, you're asked to take a breather first before you respond to it, because you might not, your immediate feelings might not reflect what you truly want out of the situation, given what you learn, if that makes any sense. So let's just get a few more cards and then we will be done. So for group 1, what is the final message that Spirit has for them, please? You're asked to speak the truth, yeah. You're asked to, like, understand there are certain truths in life that maybe you've been denying, and but you have been working on it, and I don't even know if you meant to work on it. Maybe you've been working on other things, maybe you've been doing some kind of routine, and it's starting to make things make a lot more sense in your head, whereas before they just were so baffling to you, right? Yeah, I think a lot of you have struggled with abandonment in your past, and these abandonment issues are going to start kind of just working themselves out because you're going to see that certain expectations that you have of other people are actually not, I don't want to say unreasonable, but they aren't expectations that you want to continue to hold, because we really can't expect even the slightest thing from other people. It's just not practical. So you're starting to just lose your expectations that you put on other people, which is, so I mean, we all have expectations, and I don't think it's possible to lose all of them, but we can definitely work on it. And I think you're chipping away at those those assumed expectations that you have with some people, and you're just letting them go because you realize that the more you do, the more it hurts for you, but it doesn't actually change what they do, right? So okay, and maybe we'll get one witch oracle. Okay, the lady. Embodiment. Yeah, you're really learning to nemesis. Isn't that what I just said? So really embodying who you are and being so comfortable with everything that you are, and understanding that even if somebody else does something that you really don't agree with, or which hurts you, or whatever, that you don't have to hold on to it. That you don't have to have a nemesis or make them your enemy, or think of them as your enemy. Because, to be honest, they probably don't feel the same way. And even if they do, that is their own fire. Look how she's water and it's fire. Your water is going to put out this fire of the nemesis, of enemies. Right, and you're learning this lesson, but you're learning it in an easier way than you think with this world card here. It's really coming to you more easily. So I don't want you to worry about these lessons, but I do want you to be aware of them, because once you start learning them, they're actually going to be so much, it's just going to be so freeing for you. And that's really the main energy I'm getting, is that you're just freedom. You're really coming into your own autonomy and freedom. Right, so please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, please, and also don't forget to like the video and comment down below how this resonated for you. I'm so happy that you watched, and I hope you have a wonderful day, night, or whatever time it is, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Alright, if you chose group 2 with courage, time, and this blue kyanite, then this is your reading. Thanks for joining. So, first of all, obviously courage. Courage is a powerful theme in your life, and the courage to be who you are. The courage to express yourself in the way that you need to express it with this Libra here. Right? The courage to seek justice, but also seek fairness for yourself and for others. You might be going into some social justice issues. You might be starting to write about the things you believe and how you think the world should work, and you're starting to express yourself in new ways, and you really are just gaining the courage to do that. So that's lovely. So, what is coming, Spirit? What is coming what new energies are coming into the lives of Group 2? What new adventures are happening for them? What new lessons are they learning? And how is this going to play out in their lives? Please, Spirit. Baking. Some of you like baking. Some of you, I think a few of you actually are like super good bakers. No, I'm hungry. Thank you very much for that. I think that some of you are into like alchemy. Like cooking is kind of alchemy. You put things together that taste like one way and then it comes out tasting something totally different and totally delicious, right? So yeah, you guys are like natural alchemists. Some of you might be like botanists or just like gardening, and trying to like maybe even like mixing plants together, and I forgot what that's called, but you know, like making hybrids, right? Okay, I think they were all reversed, so it's cool that we keep them upright. So we have the Eight of Cups, first of all. So you're learning to like. There's a lot of things in your past that have been really difficult for you. You've been spending a lot of time kind of painting over things that have happened in your past, and looking at them like as if you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you see your past taking place behind you once again. You might have flashbacks, and I think that you've been fighting these things, and I think that's great that you want to move on, right? It's very important to want to move on, but you also can't force yourself to do it, and sometimes fighting these things is exactly the opposite of what we have to do. So you might be asked to actually lean into it, not to ruminate about the past, but lean into what it is that you keep, the sadness that you keep going over and over in your mind, and finding a way to not come to accept it, because it's not, I mean, it's not going to come like that, but you know, to just release the struggle, and you know, try to look at it in a slightly different way. Not like a totally different way, but just like find little things to change about the way you look at these past circumstances. Because I do think that you're going to you're heading into a completely new territory, because he's like going to have to traverse these mountains, and that is going to be a struggle. But the thing is, once he gets past those mountains, it's going to be something new and different and really joyful. Okay, because the Eight of Cups is actually a really great card. So, and the Five of Wands, I think that this conflict energy that I was talking about is going to start externalizing itself, if it's not already. If this has been an internal conflict that you've been stuck in, it's actually going to start externalizing itself, not to, and it's not going to be like this terrible thing, but it's going to be little things, and it's not to make you feel bad, but it's actually to make you see like to how much everything in your mind is reflected outward, and vice versa. Like the external world is a mirror to our internal world, to a certain extent, right? And the fact that and I think that you guys have such a huge amount of power, because it's almost like I see your thoughts here, and I see how they're playing out in the real world here. Like I'm seeing like these pentacles used to be these feelings, these thoughts, these sensations that you had, and they're really externalizing themselves with this Two of Pentacles. But I think that you're sorting out a lot of things that you had felt like we're out of balance for a long time. And again, none of these are majors, so I almost feel like it's all going to happen in little increments, and it's all going to be very subtle. But at the same time, if you can recognize those subtleties, you'll almost be able to see the magic in the world, and you'll be able to see things with the eyes of a child, almost. And that's going to be so good for you, because you're going to drop out of this seriousness, this sternness that maybe you've held on to for a while, because that's how people treated you before. Everything that you used to do when you were a child, or at your old job, or whatever, everything that you did was returned with some kind of punishment, or was returned with some kind of criticism. And you're realizing that this is not how life needs to be, and that you are in control of how you see those criticisms. I mean, they could still happen. Maybe somebody does still respond to your every action with criticism, but it's not actually going to internalize anymore, because you're actually going to see that what they're saying is about them. It's not about you. And it's about how they see the world. It's not about you, and it's about how much they need healing. It's not about your healing. You see what I mean? So, and you're giving yourself such a beautiful gift. You really are. It's like you're starting to see that it's not all your fault. Like, you feel like a lot of things are your fault, and you're seeing now that it isn't. It really isn't your fault. It's nobody's fault. That there doesn't need to be any blamed place anywhere, because blame is absolutely useless. Responsibility, accountability is one thing, but that is not equal to blame. So taking accountability is about what you do in the present and in the future, but it is not about whose responsibility something was in the past, because nothing we can do can change the past. At least nothing mundane. So what else do I get from this, Spirit? The challenges you faced are going away. That's really what I'm hearing. It's like the time of challenge in your life is ending. There's been so much conflict, so much heartache, so much like the need to leave a situation. You've left a lot of situations because you felt like you were responsible for all of the problems within it, or that you weren't able to control those problems, so therefore you just needed to leave and abandon it all. But the thing is that the universe is trying to show you there's certain times you do need to leave. There's certain times that you do need to jump ship because something is not healthy for you. But at the same time, you are starting to learn that you have more control over things than you had previously believed, and you can start changing the situations, and you can start living with situations without judging them anymore. Like before you kind of judged them, and the way you judged them was also a reflection about how you judged yourself. And because you're learning to judge yourself less, you're starting to judge external situations less. And this is such a beautiful gift that you're giving yourself. I also think that because you're giving yourself this gift, another kind of gift is coming to you from the outside. Somebody is going to really help you bring things together. Maybe it's a therapist, or maybe it's a parent, or maybe it's a friend. Maybe it's just a random person on the street, and somebody's just going to say something nice to you one day, and it's just going to click, and you're going to be like, wow, that's really how other people see me, and that's so not how I saw myself. But if other people are saying that, then there's got to be something to it, right? That's not always the case, but especially when we have an objective perspective that's not coming from a place of anger or hurt. A lot of times we can rely on the words of others, because if they're coming from an objective place, then there's no reason for them to lie to us, right? So what else does Spirit want to what other new things are coming to Group 2's life, please, Spirit? I just feel like a lot of this conflict is just ending. Like, it's just gonna be it's gonna be a little sudden. It's not gonna be like starkly sudden, but it's like 1 week or 1 month, like the energies of those conflicts is starting to wane just a tiny bit, but you don't really think anything of it, and then the next month they just end, because you just realize that none of it is worth it. Yeah, you definitely are getting help from the outside. I also think Rosology said something once about how this means this could indicate a person that you see, that you don't have any choice but to see, like somebody like a coworker, or just a family member, or somebody who's in your friend group that you don't necessarily invite, but they come because they're part of your friend group. I think there's a message about this person that maybe you've had a conflict. Yeah. So I think that so this is only for some of you, but some of you have, a lot of times you've given up in arguments, or you've given, I don't want to say arguments, but you've given up in times where actually it wasn't, you maybe it would have been better if you didn't. And this is not to, again, place blame on you, but this is just to help you reflect that maybe it's time to stand up for yourself, and maybe it's time to realize that again, not everything is your fault, but also that other people have a hand in everything that happens. You can't just say, well, no, it's all my fault. That just doesn't, it's just not the case. And no matter how much you might have actually done wrong, that doesn't mean that it's all your fault. So I think I've said that a million times now, so I'm going to try to change something else, but I keep getting that message. But I do, obviously, this is a brand new start. This is new money. Honestly, I'm getting a lot about money. I wasn't sure yet, but now I really am sure that there is definitely new money coming into you, in for you. And for some of you, this money is actually coming from, and this is not to scare you or saying anybody who's really important to you is going to die, but this might be coming from somebody's will. This might be like, I don't remember what it's called right now. I can't think of certain words when I'm channeling, but you might receive this upon the passing of somebody. You might receive a lot of money, and actually, I think that there might be some battle. Like there might be some people who are really against you receiving this, but in the end you're going to receive it. Maybe it's something, I think for those who that this resonates with, it's an issue that has already been going on, and this is just saying you are going to win this battle. You just need to be strong and do not give up, because you've worked hard, and you are deserving, and you also just need to see all the things that you've done for other people in your life. Okay? All the times that you have been really generous, and you have such a generous heart, and you really have to realize that. And of course, sometimes over generosity can be a problem, but I don't think that's what's like it's talking about here, although that could be something to think about. But I think it's just talking about asking you to recognize all the good things and the good deeds that you have done for people, because there have been a lot. You really have given so much of yourself to people. Okay, so any final messages that Spirit wants to give group number 2, please? What new adventures, what new energies are coming into their lives? I think, and if this is about new energies, which I kind of got off track, but this is honestly about you recognizing this generous spirit that you have, and leaning into it, and maybe even starting a new job that has to do with charity, or maybe again you might be doing social justice work. You're really giving yourself to the people to give back to society, or to people you love. Queen of Cups reversed. 6 of Wands again, right? No, that's the 5. And the 7 of Swords. Interesting, we got this in the last one. We got both of those 2 cards in the last one, yeah. So I think this is a warning for some of you to be careful who you are allowing into your circle, because there is somebody for some of you that is probably a little bit like a snake. This person may say that they are supportive of you and then talk behind your back. They may say that they have been doing things behind the scenes for you, and they actually have been doing the opposite. You know, this person says they hold you up, and they really don't. And you know, take this as it resonates. This person could be a water sign, or it could be somebody who's very emotional, or it could just be somebody who's kind of manipulative, if I'm being perfectly honest. But this is just a warning. But again, this is almost like the Seven of Wands. It's, stand your ground, right? Know what work you're doing, and understand that it's the good work. And know that this is not going to last forever. This is going to come to an end. Imagine it like a candle or a flame. It burns bright and it's hot, but then when it's over, it's over really quickly. Okay, so I think that the main thing that's coming to you is the end of a lot of cycles that have been burdening you. That is the main thing. And also the feeling of lack, the feeling of a lack of abundance, the feeling of lack of control over your life, that is all coming to an end, and it's bringing in this new freedom that honestly, that was in the last pile as well. This freedom is such a new thing. And actually, when I was asking the cards what I should do for this reading, I got the Fool, which is all about freedom. So that totally makes sense. So maybe I'll add that to the title. But anyway, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Seriously, it's so important. Also, like the video, and comment down below how this resonated for you. I would really appreciate it. And I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much. Have a great day or night or whenever you're watching, and I will read for you when I see ya. Bye. All right. If you chose continuance with Apple and this lovely labradorite, then this is your reading. So, first of all, the energy around this could be related to the number 8. Alexa, what does the number 8 mean in numerology?
Here's something I found on reference.com. The number 8 in numerology is the number of resolution. The number 8 resolves dualities, including resolving disparities between good and bad, right and wrong, as well as spirit and matter. Through the process of resolution, the number 8 seeks balance. The number works to balance extremes. The number is considered to be the highest feminine number in numerology. The ruler of number 8 is the sun. Through balance achieved through the number 8, a person is said to gain wisdom. There is a negative energy associated with number 8, as is the case of all numbers. The negative energy specifically is associated with ruthlessness and materialism.
Okay, so I hope you could hear that. Basically, it's the culmination. It's a good thing in general. It's a good thing, especially we have the infinity symbol from the number 8. This is Capricorn, so it could be about Capricorn. It's about, like, I'm just rephrasing this because this is not exactly what he said, but it's about where things meet and create a new thing. Like, the energies meet here and they create a new stream of energy, and that's really what I'm seeing here, especially with this continuance. It's like not just the continuance of the same situation, but it's the continuance of the energies that never die, that are coming together, culminating into something completely new, completely different. This makes me feel like, think of the Charmed episode where they peel the apple and they put it in water and they find the person who you're gonna marry, or the love of your life. They went back in time. But anyway, so let's see what the cards have in store for you, group number 3. Alright. So, Spirit, please, for group number 3, tell us what new energies are coming in, what is freeing them, the freedom that's coming to them, and what new adventures are in store for them. The Lovers. The 7 of Wands. The Ace of Wands. The 7 of Swords. Oh gosh. So, first of all, this is going to be a few different things for a few different people. I think that there's been somebody who you were deeply in love with, for some of you, who lied to you and cheated on you or did something like that. This was probably a male person, and you probably tolerated their bullshit, right? However, I think because of the nature of my question, this is clearly not saying that this is continuing. I think that what this is saying is that you are meeting somebody completely new, completely different, who is not going to have these toxic masculine features. They're not going to be a liar, and they're not going to be too stubborn. They're actually going to be kind of the opposite of the person that you were with last, if you were in a relationship before, right? If this is not for you, or if that's not for you, then the new energy is coming. That's coming is sacred sexuality. I definitely feel that for you. You're really coming into being comfortable with your sexuality, because I think in the past you could have been raised in a very Christian or religious manner that made you feel like you were not allowed to enjoy that. And actually now you're starting to see in the coming months, years, weeks, you're starting to see how your sexuality is a gift to you, and that you are allowed to explore it. And you're getting away, which this card can also mean getting away, from this control that people have tried to put onto your sexuality. You are no longer able to be controlled or to be tamed. Okay, so there could have been somebody who you were dating, or this could have been your parents, who shamed you for your sexuality, or for they even just shamed sexuality as a whole, their own and others and yours included. And this is no longer going to be the case. For others of you, along with that, I think that there's this new love sort of coming in, whether that be romantic love or a new passion, a new like drive, a new force in your life that is going to be very. It's kind of airy, so it's kind of like it's like about your thoughts and about communication. It's how you speak and how you think, but it's also the choices you make, and it's going to be based on this heart energy. It's going to be based on this idea that love is what drives you, love is what compels you, and love is what makes life worth living for you. And it doesn't have to be love of another person. Once again, it could be the love that you have for what you do, or it could be the love that you have for an animal, or it could be a love that you have for your crystals. It really doesn't matter. But it could be also the love you have of, you know, using your sexuality for various purposes, connecting with other people, or for expressing yourself, or for expressing yourself and making money. I mean, it doesn't matter. But all of that stuff culminating, like that we were talking about earlier with the number 8, all of this stuff culminating into one like solid piece. It just reminds me of Yoga with Adrian. She would go, "Hey yo," but one solid piece is like all of this together. Um, but I do feel like for some of you, a new deal is coming. Not the New Deal, the political thing, but a new deal as in a new contract or a new start. For some of you, a new start is coming in a job, like, or in a relationship, because there's been a lot of conflict in the relationship, and honestly, all of that is going away. Like, it's really somebody's almost like maybe there's a person part of the situation that's packing their bags and leaving. They might be even leaving in a shady circumstance, but at the end of the day, the departure is going to be super, super beneficial for everybody because nobody likes that person. Bless them. But if that's not for you, I also, that bird is really sticking out to me. It's almost like the wand is controlling the bird. So the fire is controlling the air. So your passions, your drive, your desire is so in the forefront of your mind. It is so in the forefront of your mind. I mean, this is all very passionate. But these two, but also there's this fire here. Just the idea of love is passion, even though this is more of an air card, I believe. I know that it represents Gemini, so that is air. But you could be a Gemini. I almost feel like this idea right here of a fair or like of tents or something is important. You could be somebody who is really passionate about helping refugees. You could be somebody who's really passionate about like circus performing. You are just whatever you're doing. Like, I honestly think that a lot of times it could have to do with outdoors. But I just think that like you are this brand new energy, like literally, like I know that's the whole idea of the video, but this energy is so brand new, it is so fresh that you're not even going to recognize what your life was like before. You're going to be like, what the hell was I doing before? Not in a bad way, but just like, how did I even like live that way? Because now like this energy, this freshness, this beauty in my life, this sexuality, this connection, these people, this love for myself and for everything around me, it's just so different, so new, something just really impressive. It's given me serious chills right now. I'm sure a few of you have chills right now as well. Like, it's so different. You might have moved to somewhere where a lot of times you will be outside because maybe the outdoors is more, it's not so isolated from the indoors, like in the US, and in Europe, the indoors and outdoors are two separate places, but not in every place is that the case. A lot of times there's buildings that there is no wall in one place, so the outdoor is still indoors and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So, what else does Spirit have for group 3, please. I do want to... Okay, I need to get this up first. We have the devil on the bottom of the deck. Or on the top of the deck, I guess. We'll look on the bottom as well. But we have the devil here. So I do want to say that there is this idea that even though all of this love and joy and stuff is happening in your life coming up, too much of a good thing is always a bad thing. So that's something you want to keep in mind, that there is going to be all this good energy, but never let it get to an excess, because it could become overgrown in your life. Like he's got almost like... it almost looked like grass to me, but it's actually scales. But it can become overgrown in your life. You can become dependent on it. You can just, and also look, these are the same people as in the Lover's card. This is the same guy and the same girl. So you don't want this Lovers to morph into this devil. So the Spirit is just asking you to please keep a careful eye on this, because you don't want to avoid the pleasure of life, but you also don't want to bury yourself in pleasure and forget about other things, because that will not lead you to where you want to go. And that could end up with this card bringing its negative aspects out and you ripping yourself off, or you cheating yourself. Like Amy Winehouse, I cheated myself like I knew I would. Also, we have the 3 of Swords on the bottom of the deck. So, yeah, just don't break your own heart. Your heart is very passionate. Your heart is just... You have a very sensitive heart. And while this beautiful energy is coming in, do not allow yourself to get too far deep into any one thing that will take you out of like the rest of your life. Don't let one girl or one guy get you too deep into under their spell, and make you forget about what else you have going on in your life. And don't let just... I think you get what I mean. So, what else does Spirit want to tell me? Number 3, please. Okay, the 5 of Swords. I was reading about this the other day, and so the first thing that popped up in my mind about what this is wandering spirits. Wandering spirits. So I do think that you have some... This could just be about spirit guides. You have some spirit guides, or even actually like humans that have passed on, that are just still on Earth because they have things they're still trying to resolve. They are trying to guide you. And not all of them, especially if they're human spirits, not all of them are going to guide you in the right direction. So if you get intuitive messages, ask again after you've made it clear that you only want messages from higher vibrational beings, or higher level beings. You only want messages from your guides, for instance, or from Spirit itself, or your ancestors, whatever. Just you need to be very clear about that. And some people say you need to ask 3 times so that you can ensure you're getting the right messages, because you can get messages from lower vibrational beings, and if you ask for 3 times, supposedly, they cannot lie to you the 3rd time. And that's just what I've heard, and it seems to actually work for me. So sometimes I do get messages from those kind of beings, and that's how I manage it. Anyway. So, but also, I would say that there's been a lot of disputes, debates, bad breakups in your past, possibly. And that is so over. I mean, I'm not saying that you're never going to have a bad breakup again, but it's going to be better than the past. You're not going to have these issues that you used to have with connections. I honestly think this is you've had relationships that you've struggled with relationships in your past, and that is no longer the case, because you've just... I don't even know if you've intentionally discovered something new about relationships, or you've worked on it specifically or anything like that. But I just think that you've grown, you've matured, and that you started to see things in a much more fair perspective. I didn't get justice, but Seven of Swords again. Yeah, I think you've dealt with so many people um, screwing you over that you have come to realize that maybe people are not doing this out of spite for you. They're not doing it because they want to hurt you. They're doing it because they have a lot of things that they need to heal in themselves, and that certainly does not excuse that. But it does explain it, right? It does make it easier to digest, because if you realize that it wasn't because they wanted to hurt you, it wasn't because they wanted to they wanted to take something from you, but because they were feeling in need of something, and the only way they thought they were going to be able to acquire it was through screwing you over. However, I also think this could be that again, this is kind of like group 2, that you might tend to abandon things before they get too deep, because you are afraid of that, and you are afraid if something gets too deep, and if I allow it to go all the way, if I allow this relationship to really bloom and grow, then I could get hurt. And I don't want to get hurt, so I want to leave this relationship immediately, or I want to really leave this relationship or this connection or this job or whatever as soon as it starts to feel like it could go into a direction where I'm going to have to give more commitment than I want to. And the thing is that you can be afraid of commitment if if that's how you feel, but your commitment is something that actually does make us happy, because we need stability in our lives. Stability is an illusion, but we do need a certain amount of stability, of at least stability over the period of a year or two at least, or maybe 10 years, that will help us feel stable in ourselves, because again, the internal and external worlds reflect each other. So don't rip yourself off by running away from things that you might have to commit to, because you really you have this potential to have a lot more happiness if you can think of things in larger terms, and terms beyond just the fear you experience, because I think this fear has stolen from you many times, and now it's time that this energy is coming to a close, and you're realizing this is the sun, this is consciousness of the fact that you might have ripped yourself off before in these situations, and now it's over, because you see it, and it's not even like, again, like in group 2, there's no blame that needs to be put on anybody. There's nothing like that, but there just needs to be this understanding, like, that I no longer need to do that, because I want to take a risk. That's it. I want to take a risk in life. Also, I do think for some of you, there is somebody in your life who is not being honest. Again, my pile 2, I think y'all must be watching all the piles, because we have 777. That could be a message from the divine. I mean, clearly that's what this is. But also, with these 2 Seven of Swords, I feel like somebody is not to be trusted. So this is a different message, not what I was just talking about, but this is a separate message. There is somebody who is not to be trusted. Your intuition has already told you that they are not to be trusted, but maybe you have ignored it because you want to give them the benefit of the doubt. If your intuition keeps telling you they're not to be trusted, do not trust them. That doesn't mean you need to drop them, but if that's what is best for you to do, then that's what you should do. But and this is not, again, it's not related to you feeling like things getting too serious and then running away. That's not this. This is just a different thing. This is maybe in your friend group or at work, or somebody is stealing an idea, or somebody is telling you one thing and then telling somebody else about you another thing. So you just want to be careful about who you trust, but also don't be paranoid. That's the only thing about this, is I don't want you to be paranoid about this, because you already know who it is, or you will. it will be very clear, very obvious to you intuitively who it is. You just have to remember to follow that intuition. Not the paranoia. The paranoia is anxiety. The intuition is a calm feeling. And that's the important thing. I mean, you could just contact me for a personal reading, and I could definitely help you out with that if you are having questions about who it could be, or if this one person you're thinking of is the one. Ask me. I will totally help you. Just message me on Instagram or on my contact form, okay? I'll just pull up a few more. So, final messages for group 3, please, Spirit. The Magician. The High Priestess again. Y'all, your intuition is out of this world lately, but you have not been listening to it, and the Spirit wants you to know you are very extremely powerful spiritually. You have a lot of spiritual gifts, maybe that you haven't even tapped into. Your intuition is on point, but you don't listen to it. You're scared to listen to it, but you need to really start meditating and start just paying attention to the little feelings you get, because a lot of those intuitive feelings we filter out because we don't realize that they're important because they're very subtle. But if you meditate, you can really easily start to notice the subtle things. The Tower reversed. Okay. So, yeah, the thing about this dishonest person, if you feel it, follow it. Especially if it's come from a calm place. Because this person could be very detrimental to you, and I don't want to scare you, but I just want you to keep an eye out, because if you keep an eye out, then nothing is going to happen to you. Okay, so that's all that you have to do. Just be aware of your intuitive responses. This could be somebody who's your ex, by the way, for some of you, not everybody. Or this could be somebody you think is a good friend. Probably not a family member, in my opinion. Let's get a one-witch oracle card before we go. Or no, 2. Group 3, final messages from the oracle card. Advice, please. Do allow these structures that have been keeping you tied down in a bad way. Allow these structures to fall. Don't just keep building up something that's not even serving you anymore. It might have served you in the past, but it's probably not anymore. And these structures, these habits, these routines, these people, they're no longer serving you. So just allow those structures that they're built on to fall. Okay, you might want to do some protection work, okay? But you are very, very well, very, very capable of that. It's not going to be hard. It's not going to be a big process. Light a black candle with some lavender on it and just meditate over it for 5 minutes. That's all that you really need to do. You have the athame. You have the power. You are really able to channel that power, whether you are practiced or not, whether you really have come across that before in your life or not. You are extremely, extremely powerful and gifted in this, and you are asked to do some protection work on yourself. Okay, again, if you want to contact me, I can help you with that. But anyway, guys, this was overall a beautiful reading. There was definitely some warnings to be had, but the main message of it is this fresh, new, summery energy that's just, oh, it's so cool. So I'm excited for you. All right, well, you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, night, whatever, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Seriously, it's so helpful. Also, like the video. Thumbs up, please, not thumbs down. There's always one person who thumbs it down. Also, don't forget to leave a comment down below and just tell me how it resonates. I mean, you can trauma dump on me. I really don't care. If it's something serious, just leave a content warning, trigger warning, and that's all I ask. Otherwise, you guys have a good one. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.